Hello and welcome back to Rage Gaming and more Arc Raiders. Today we're talking about this thing, the Matriarch, which has spawned for the first time finally after they fixed it. Whoops. It wasn't spawning until quite late in the day, at least here in the UK, but I was there for its first real spawn, which occurred here on the damn battlegrounds, spawning specifically at the breach. And I'm lucky enough to say that I killed it first try, second try, and third try using a bunch of different methods and strategies. So within that 1 hour of play, I had 3 attempts and got all 3 kills. To cut straight to the chase then, her unique drop is the Matriarch Reactor, which as you can see is used to craft the new special or legendary weapon, the Aphelion, which of course as it tells us now requires complex gun parts and the magnetic accelerators, which you also get of course from the Matriarch and the Queen, where you have to get complex gun parts from other sources. I wish I could tell you I've already got the blueprint for that, but at this time I do not, and I can't currently tell whether it comes from the Harvester or it's just going to be available on the new map, Stella, which is just not here right now. But we will be covering that weapon as soon as I can. So where does the Matriarch spawn? She spawns on the damn battlegrounds or spaceport at the very least, these initial spawns. It is possible she'll spawn on the other maps. On damn battlegrounds, you'll find her at the breach, but on the spaceport, you'll find her at the fuel lines right next to the departure building. Let's talk about what she is and how it works. She is essentially an alternative version of the Queen, much like you can say a Bastion and Bombardier are the same unit with some key differences. So she's got the many spider, spindly legs, similar movement patterns, but completely unique weaknesses and attacks and mechanics. Let's talk about her direct attacks. Unlike the Queen, she doesn't have a direct shot or attack on you. Everything she does is kind of indirect, other than physically stepping on you, that is. So you've got gas grenades, flashbangs, homing rockets, and shield generation. The other side of it is her summon, as she is the Matriarch, because she can summon wasps and hornets. She can summon ticks. She can summon, as confirmed by my attempts, bastions, leapers, rocketeers. I have not seen a bombardier spawn yet though. If you bring yourself to the Raider page and go to the Codex, you can go to the Arc tab and have a look at her information. They describe her as more deadly than the Queen, but in my experience, they're quite comparable. For the rundown of her attacks then, she has the physical step on you, which will just occur kind of randomly if you're pressing up against her and being low to the ground. You might think, well, I would never do that. Wrong, but we'll get to that. She fires gas grenades and has a gas aura around herself if you're near her. The gas grenades, much like the ones we throw or trap, drain stamina, and as you can see they drain stamina very quickly. But if you're well positioned, this doesn't matter. But if you're in a bad position, such as down low, up close to her, this could be a death sentence, so you gotta respect it in that context. Next, she fires flashbangs, which are like these cylinders that fly and flip in the air. They're very obvious, and if they land next to you, they'll explode, dealing 2 things. No damage, but a full white blind, and really badly, fully deafens your character. As you can see in this moment, I get hit by a flashbang when just one singular wasp is attacking me. In most contexts, that's not going to be a problem. But once I'm blind and can't hear, I couldn't defend myself until it was clear. Fun fact, you can shoot these flashbangs to cause them to pop early. This could be a good idea when you're in a bad position and you see one flying your way, to shoot it and tank the lesser flashbang effect rather than letting it land anywhere near you. Her most deadly attack by far though is her homing rockets. These shoot up into the air much like the mortar fire of the Queen, but act completely different. They go up into the air, pick a target, and lock onto it. The moment that they lock onto a target, they go ultra quick towards it. So you will see them go into the air and literally change directions suddenly. You must respect them. In my experience though, they go into the air and spread the attention. So say the Matriarch has aggro on one player, that doesn't mean the homing rockets are just all going at that one player. It goes up and spreads to everything around. In my first attempt, I managed to convince a 3-man to work with us instead of fighting us. Admittedly, they didn't do a whole lot because they didn't have any hull crackers or anything, but I did notice how all of the attacks and utilities she was using spread amongst the 6 players rather than focused on one. So even if you're not the one with aggro, you have to respect those homing rockets. My advice for these is to find some nice hard cover that you can go behind. The moment that they go into the air, you already want to get back into cover. Lastly, for her unique direct mechanics is the shield generator. This generates all kinds of shields across her body, and no projectile seems to be able to get through it. We tried a lot of different things. So she is super protected while in that shield. But you can straight up walk into that shield. It's not a physical barrier for you. You can walk through that shield for free and then shoot her within it. And why you would do that is because her core, her most weak point, is fully exposed for free while her shield's up. So that's something we'll talk about in the strategy section. Now, in regards to her potential summons, she can summon a pack of 3. That's 2 wasps and a hornet, and they will be aggroed straight to her current target no matter where they are or how far away from their spawn, which is an interesting mechanic. She also spawns a bunch of ticks under herself all along the ground. Again, there's a good reason to fight her on the ground, but these ticks will be very deadly if you caught out, which gave me some strife. Throughout the fight, in my experience, she would always summon 2 big arc. Of the 3 kills that I did, she would summon a bastion or a leaper or a rocketeer, and then one of the others. So in most of my encounters with her, I've seen leapers and bastions. Maybe they're just more common, but a rocketeer did spawn on our 3rd kill, which was by far the scariest of the 3. The bastion you can completely ignore, thankfully, in terms of positioning, but the leaper needs to be focus fired and dealt with because it'll come for you, obviously, much like the rocketeer, and so it's worth bringing a wolf pack if she spawns a rocketeer. Again, I've not seen a bombardier spawn yet, but maybe it's possible. If it is, I would get rid of that thing ASAP. Okay, so how do you deal with her? As always, you're going to want the familiar setup with the hull cracker. In this patch, things have changed. You can still buy 1 hull cracker a day for 30k, but they have quite literally doubled the cost of the launcher ammo. So it's 6,000 for 10 shots instead of 3,000. They've also changed the craft if you've actually, finished the quest line. So you'll find at the workbench, you can craft 6 at a time for 4 metal parts, which is nothing, 1 explosive compound per. And since I've been stacking these up, it's not been a problem for me. But now I'm actually crafting these because the expense is quite a lot. Much like the Queen, we brought somewhere between 60 and 80 hull cracker shots each. If I was going to solo it, I'd want to bring about 200 at a minimum. But there is a new option you could also consider. The epic grenade, the Deadline, which is a mine that, as it states, deals 1,000 damage in its explosion. To give you an idea of how good that is 10 hull cracker shots. So as you can see, Josh gave it a go and ended up doing a massive amount of damage for the effort that it took to place it. So we'll talk about that, but it is an option. Now, either way, you want to be positioned above her with hard cover, ideally. This allows you to aim down into her jaw and reach the core when you're ready. On Spaceport, at the fuel lines, I could easily imagine this being inside the departure building, using the windows and the balconies as an ideal location. Where we did it on the down battlegrounds, it's a bit harder because you're exposed above yourself, but all you really need is to be higher than her with hard cover in front of you, which is easily doable on the side of the dam, on either side of the breach. However, I recommend the northeastern side, because as you can see, there's a truck or a vehicle here that is perfect hard cover. I position myself in the middle of it, then swing left or right based on the context. Even when she's dumping the gas grenades on me, it doesn't matter. I'm just swinging anyway, because I can just slowly walk behind the cover and be very safe from the missiles. Another nice spot is using the wall of the dam here, using this pillar and swinging out on the left. Again, the point of the hard cover is to go into that hard cover to be safe from the missiles the moment they begin firing and aiming. Go early and protect yourself. In terms of what you're going to be doing, you're going to be smashing the jaw plating as much as you can. There are 2 jaw plates that protect her core. You could focus fire into one, the left or the right, and ignore the other. This would expose one side of the core, and then you just weave those shots nicely in there, dealing ridiculous damage per shot, and that's how we kill her pretty quick. And that's it. On the first day, in the first hour, people were pretty friendly. On our second attempt, we came over and said, hey, we've already killed one. Are we okay to help? And found a small army of players that I think there was 3 teams helping each other. On the third attempt, it was more like reality. Just us 3 fighting the monster. And then once we killed it, we were immediately attacked by vultures who wanted the loot but not do any of the work or help us. So you'll have to be ready for that in the coming days as people get less friendly now that it's not new. The alternative strat then is to get down low and fight it from below. In the damn battlegrounds at the breach, you can see how there's the ramps that fall over. This covers me nicely above and I can swing even into the gas grenades. As long as I'm managing the small arc, I can fire from this nice safe location. You can see that I can just almost see the back of the core even without breaking the jaw plating. Give me a good place to fire. And when she has aggro on me, she comes over to me, allowing me to walk into the shield and shoot the core even without breaking the jaw plating for better DPS a lot earlier in the fight. This is what I would consider the solo strategy because you want to be able to kill it quicker on your own. You just have to manage all the small arc that come for you, and whenever the missiles are firing, go into that hardcover early. Now let's talk about the silly strat. For this, I would strongly recommend a photoelectric cloak. As you can see with Josh, he's able to hold it above himself and completely ignore the fight. No aggro's on him while he's doing that. He just has to worry about accidentally being stepped on or accidentally being hit by an explosion. His goal in this moment is to get close and apply a deadline. Anywhere really onto the center of the body. Ultimately he manages it, but it takes quite a while to, get it on target without, the Matriarch moving. So there's some luck involved in that. While he was doing that, we were desperately hitting her to try to keep aggro off of him, but it is doable. Something that would be more reliable would be snap hooking to her top, standing on top and dropping multiple of these things on her and running off before they explode, which we plan to test in the near future. That could lead to an incredibly quick kill. If you are going to run her, I do recommend the Tactical Mark III in one of the variants. The reason for this is because it can use light or medium shield, so obviously you run medium. And you've got 3 safe pockets, which allows you to nicely tuck in 3 Matriarch reactors in those safe slots. No matter what happens, you get the win. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I know about the Matriarch from my first 3 kills and my initial experience. I hope that gives you some confidence to take on the fight yourself. She's honestly awesome. I don't know how I would describe her harder than the Queen due to her lack of direct fire, like the laser beam, but obviously you have to really respect the rockets. Anyway, I aim to check out that new gun, the Aphelion, as soon as it's available or as soon as I can get my hands on that blueprint. So check that out when I put it up. Otherwise, more guys like this coming your way as we sink our teeth into the new map as soon as it's available. For now, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thanks for watching, we'll see you next time.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.